so delighted to be staying here with United. It felt like a really easy option for me, and I'm just really pleased to sort of continue this journey and see where we can go over the next few years.
Since you joined, have you got a specific highlight that's like your favourite moment so far?
I think we've been spoilt this past season with so many highlights. Obviously, getting to the FA Cup final for the first time, qualifying in the top 3, which puts us in a position to get into the Champions League group stage. So there's been so many little things as a club that we've managed to do for the first time. I remember a video when I first signed, and it was those sorts of things that I was talking about in the video, you know, one step closer to Champions League. And so to be sat here 2 years on and be sort of talking about those things, having achieved it with the team, is just really exciting, and I hope that this can be another springboard. I hope that we're sat here again one day talking about the next step, but for now I think it's really exciting.
Obviously you suffered an ACL back in 2022. How did you find the support from your teammates and the staff here while you were recovering?
The support here has been so good. I've got a really strong bond with our physio, Ib, in particular. It feels like quite a while ago now, and really since then I feel like I've been able to kick on. At the time when I did the injury, it felt like a really negative moment. It felt like something that was quite serious and quite sad. But having now been on the other side of it, I never thought that I'd come back fitter, faster, stronger. All of those cliche buzzwords, somehow, luckily, I managed to feel like that when I came back. And so hopefully I can continue with that feeling and put it all into the team this year.
We have to talk about your performance against Arsenal at Lee. How did it feel to get back on the pitch and then put in a performance like that as well?
It felt so great, that game. I think my happiest moment was actually at the final whistle, the pure relief. Obviously that was the first time that I played 90 minutes for United since my injury, and we managed to beat Arsenal, who are a great team, and so that's what made it feel really special for us. It also helped us in our Champions League campaign, and obviously we finished the league in second place, which I think if we were projecting what our aims and our ideas were at the start of the season, I think that was a really good finish for us. So that win, I think it really cemented that we deserved to be up there. And obviously we had another great contest with Arsenal in the previous November at the Emirates. It was a great atmosphere. But I wasn't able to be a part of that at the time. So to be able to sort of be in and amongst the action on the pitch, it was a really nice note for me.
What is it that you think makes this group of players so special?
I think there's a lot. I think we've got really good players, and I think we've got players who are in a stage of their career where they're going like that. So, you know, Ella Toon, for example, who's obviously a really big lioness, Mary Earps, our captain, Katie Zellum, Maya Letizia as well. So there's so many. And then just more generally, I think that obviously talk is cheap, but everyone says that plays here just how close-knit the girls are, and just how close we are as a team. And I obviously felt that when I've had low moments through injury, and anyone who's been through anything while they've been at United will always say just how special this group of girls are. So I feel really passionate about trying to continue that, because I think that that was one of the things that sort of stood us in good stead towards the end of the season this year, and hope that we can keep going in that direction.
So for fans who are kind of coming to the women's game now that maybe missed your interview when you first joined, how would you describe yourself as a player?
So I'm a central defender, and I would describe myself as a 1v1 defender, aggressive, physical, and then on the ball, someone who likes to play, someone who likes to try and help create the attacks out from the back. So if I can do those two things, I'm probably not doing too badly, but that's sort of my identity, and that's how I set myself up to play, and that's sort of what I'm thinking of when I go out onto the pitch.
What sort of character would you describe yourself as in the dressing room?
Maybe one of the louder ones. I would say I'm quite passionate. I've got lots of views, I've got lots of ideas. There's quite a few of us that just feel so passionate about taking this football club in a continued upward trajectory. So I would say I'm sort of loud, love talking ideas about football. So if you can get on board with those two things, I think we'll be okay.
When did you actually realise you wanted to be a professional footballer? Were there people that inspired you to achieve it?
It's a good question, because my age and my generation of footballers, when we were growing up, we didn't know at that point that we could be a professional footballer. Everyone who played football knew they wanted to play football, but in terms of doing it in as your job, that wasn't possible. So when I go into schools now and I speak to kids in primary school and I tell them that that's something that's possible for them that wasn't possible for me, I think that's so exciting. So there wasn't a particular moment, probably around when I sort of turned the cusp of 20 years old. There was enough interest and growth in the women's game to be able to support professional contracts. But I'm glad to say that kids now will be able to have these dreams that my age generation of footballer probably didn't know was exactly going to be there.
Unfortunately, you didn't make the Ireland team for the Women's World Cup, despite fighting really hard to come back from